Wonder Woman is one of the most recognizable superheroes. She has been around for a very, very long time, and has had multiple ongoing comics, been in a lot of shows, and has a super successful movie franchise. You know, the second Wonder Woman 1984 is due out very, very soon. I mean, when you think of the word superhero, Diana is almost always one of the ones that comes to mind. But she's not usually one of the ones associated when you think of the word scary. But that, my friends, is what we're going to talk about today. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Dave Raff. And I mean, if you hadn't already guessed it, today we are going to be talking about the top 10 scary Wonder Woman alternates. Now, if you enjoy this video and you're not too scared by the end of it, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd, so you're always the first to know when we post a nerdy video. Alright, with all of that being said, let's dive in. Number 10, Final Crisis Wonder Woman. During the DC event, Final Crisis, Darkseid infects multiple DC heroes with a virus called, and please forgive me if I am pronouncing this wrong, Mortococcus. The virus takes them over and turns them into animal-like creatures. Of course, one of the heroes affected by this virus is Wonder Woman. Basically, after that, she now works for Darkseid and fights against the other DC heroes. Some of the other characters infected with the virus were Catwoman, Batwoman, and Giganta. Number 9, Frank Miller's Wonder Woman. Frank Miller is responsible for a whole bunch of amazing DC stories. Although, sometimes his take on the characters, they're really different than what fans are used to. And sometimes they are not even the biggest fans of them. And that seems to be the case with his take on Wonder Woman, at least during The Dark Knight Returns. During that story, Wonder Woman is basically just a killer, and she kills a lot of people without mercy. She's not the hero that fans are used to. This version of Diana works for Lex Luthor and basically implies that she wants to see all men die. The Wonder Woman we know doesn't kill unless she absolutely needs to and stands up for everyone. So you can see why this version kinda got a mixed response. Number 8, Red Sun Wonder Woman. This version of Wonder Woman comes from the Elseworld story Superman Red Sun, which is considered to be one of Superman's best Elseworlds tales. The story revolves around, what if Superman didn't land in Kansas when he came to Earth, but instead, Soviet Russia. During the story, we also get to see alternate versions of some of our other favorite DC heroes, including Wonder Woman. This version of her is in love with Superman, but he doesn't always show the same amount of affection towards her. And eventually, she starts to hate him. Later on, she ends up going up against him while starting her own, more kind of crazy, bloody versions of the Amazons. It's kind of scary. Number 7, Robot Wonder Woman. Yep, there is a robot Wonder Woman. It was during issue 137, Diana and Steve end up traveling to an alternate Earth. And that Earth is full of robot versions of all the main DC heroes. The robot Wonder Woman sees Steve, and who just so happens not to have a robot double and wants him all to herself. They then start to compete in a series of trials, and whoever wins gets to be with Steve. Of course, in the end, the regular Wonder Woman wins. But there is a point where Robot Wonder Woman looked like she was about to have Steve all to herself, even though it kind of turns out she was cheating in most of the challenges. Number 6, BIZZARO Wonder Woman. We all know of the original BIZZARO, and by original I mean Superman's BIZZARO. But not a lot of people know there's actually a BIZZARO Wonder Woman. BIZZARO Wonder Woman first showed up in DC Comics Presents issue 71. Now, since then, there have actually been multiple versions of BIZZARO Wonder Woman. There's even one called BIZZARA. I mean, what can I say? DC loves its BIZZARO versions of their own characters. And for the most part, fans do as well. I just think, it depends on how good the story is around them. That definitely affects it. Number 5, Superwoman. So, Superwoman is an evil alternate version of Wonder Woman. She is from Earth 3 and is part of a group known as the Crime Syndicate, which is an evil version of the Justice League. This version of Wonder Woman fled Themyscira, or known on that Earth as Damnation Island. But she didn't just leave there all happy and, whatever. No, she left there, but not before murdering all of her fellow Amazonian warriors. Like, this version of Wonder Woman was really hardcore. She's scary, she's manipulative, and does whatever it takes to get what she wants. I mean, even turning her fellow allies against one another, two of which she was actually dating secretly. Number 4, Nazi Wonder Woman. I feel like at this point, every hero has some sort of Nazi doppelganger. At least in DC. I mean, they even did it in the Arrowverse during the Crisis on Earth X crossover. Oliver and Kara had to deal with evil Nazi doppelgangers from Earth X. Barry actually didn't have one. It was just Eobard Thawne, who was also just messing with him. But back to my main point. Wonder Woman also has an evil Nazi doppelganger. This version comes from Earth 10 and is an Earth where Germany won World War II, just like Earth X in the Arrowverse. All of the Justice League members have evil versions of themselves, and one of those, of course, is Wonder Woman. It was really a different kind of thing for fans to see. And in this version, there's almost no one that can stop them. Imagine going up against an evil version of the League. It's just a terrifying thought. Number 3. Flashpoint Wonder Woman. When Barry Allen went back in time to save his mom, he created an alternate timeline. It was during the comic event Flashpoint. In this new timeline, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, meet up to fight a common enemy. But they also happen to fall in love. It always happens. The only problem is, Aquaman is taken with Mira. So, but that doesn't sit well with old Diana. She's like, no, let me take care of this problem. So, she kills Mira. But it doesn't sit well with Arthur. And then after that, Themyscira and Atlantis, they decide to go to war. This war basically ravages the entire world. Wonder Woman just kills a ton of people and gets to the point where you wouldn't even really recognize her anymore. It's a great story though. I mean, Flashpoint has become one of the most beloved DC stories around. Fans love that alternate timeline it created. It's been adapted into the animated movie, and it was even brought into The Flash Season 3. It's super popular. Number 2, Blackest Night Wonder Woman. Blackest Night was not only a big deal for Green Lantern fans, but just DC fans in general. It was one of the most epic events in DC's history. The long-forgotten Black Lanterns returned, and in order to become Black Lantern, you have to be dead, which Wonder Woman was. As a Black Lantern, Wonder Woman is basically unstoppable. I mean, they are so powerful. At one point, Mara stabs Diana through the chest with a trident. A freaking trident. And that doesn't stop her. She does eventually come back to the land of the living, but fans really like seeing this kind of different, quite frankly, super scary version of Wonder Woman. If only for a little while. Number 1, Injustice Wonder Woman. I feel like a lot of people probably saw this one coming. I mean, the Injustice universe just keeps getting more and more popular. It was created in 2013 with NetherRealm Studios' fighting game Injustice: Gods Among Us, which is an awesome game. It's set in a world where Superman is basically tricked by the Joker into killing Lois and their unborn child. This, of course, makes him go crazy, as it would with anyone. That would just mess anyone up. And he ends up starting an evil regime. Some heroes in the DC world end up joining him, and some obviously stand against him. Wonder Woman is actually on his side in this version. This version of Wonder Woman is brutal. She just straight up kills anyone in her path. We're not given a lot of her backstory, but they are always expanding this world. There have been multiple ongoing comics set in this world, and of course we ended up getting Injustice 2. Fingers crossed we end up getting Injustice 3 sometime within the next couple of years, but there are rumors going around that NetherRealm is working on something outside of Mortal Kombat and Injustice. So at this point, it seems like it's going to be a very long wait until we see Injustice 3, which really sucks. Fans love that franchise, and we need a third installment. We need to end that trilogy. Come on, guys, give us that game, NetherRealm. All right, there you have it, guys. The top 10 scary Wonder Woman alternates. What does your list look like? Let us know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Top 10 Nerds so you never miss one nerdy moment. I'm your host, David Raff, and thank you so much for watching.